What's up everyone, it's Natalie here, and today I am filming a video that's, okay, there's so much noise outside. I am so sorry if you can hear that. I'm gonna try to project. I am filming a video that I have done years in the past. I feel like I've done maybe 2 of these, but it is 23 lessons I learned by the time I turned 23. So I just turned 23 last week, which sounds so old. I feel so old. But I think I did one of these when I turned 20. And maybe 21 or 22. Maybe I've only done the one when I turned 20. I don't really know. But I really like this idea. I feel like it's a good way to kind of reflect on the past year. And 22 was probably my biggest year yet. I had a lot of changes. I graduated college. I moved to LA for a summer. I started a real job. I started a podcast. I started my store. I moved out of my parents' place and like moved into my own apartment, 100% financially on my own. It's just like a huge year. I don't know, I didn't realize all of that stuff happened at 22, and I was like, wow, that's kind of insane. But anyways, I'm gonna get right into the video because I feel like this is gonna be kind of a long one. Hope you guys enjoy, and if you guys have any other lessons that you guys have, then you guys can comment them down below. Also, if the filming is a little weird, it's because I'm filming on my vlog camera because my main camera died and I needed to get this up. And I'm so sorry if you can hear the background because that is gonna drive me nuts while editing, I'm telling you. All right, got my notebook and it's time to see what lessons I've learned. First lesson that I learned is that it is okay to let things go. And by this, I mean, you don't need a reason to let someone or something go. I feel like a lot of times, especially for me in my life, like when I end friendships or relationships or I leave a situation, sometimes I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, nothing's wrong. Like, they didn't do anything bad, or I should be grateful for the situation that I'm in. But you don't need like some big bad reason to leave. You can just have a feeling and you can realize that it's not right for you, and you can realize that, you know what, you're just not as happy, and that's reason enough. You don't need to have someone else or something else to do something to you to make you leave. If I want to walk away from a situation, if I don't feel as happy anymore, I should be able to do that without kind of an explanation. The second one kind of relates to that one, but it's that you don't need to maintain every relationship. This is something that I really learned because especially after college, you drift away from a lot of people. You're not seeing them anymore when you go out. You're not seeing them more every day. You guys live in different cities and you don't live together anymore, and whatever the situation is. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure to constantly like be maintaining these relationships and be like, okay, I have to text you every week. I have to catch up with you. I have to ask you to hang out, I have to do all this. That honestly becomes another full-time job. If you really don't care about that relationship anymore, you shouldn't feel the need to kind of maintain it. People drift away and drift apart, and that's okay. Some relationships stay close and some relationships still are like you're in each other's lives, but you might not be as close, and that's okay too. Because for me, I have some people that will text me and they're like, hey, we should get coffee, we should hang out. And I know this sounds bad, but in my mind I'm like, I don't really want to. Like I haven't seen you in like 3 years. I don't know you anymore as well. Like, I don't know, I feel like, what's the point of, we're both busy. I don't know. I know that might sound really mean of me. Maybe I'll have to edit that out. But that's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, at this point, I don't have time to keep up with people that aren't like my closest friends. And I feel like that should be okay. You are going to have a lot of what am I doing moments. Like, what am I doing with my life? I'm 22. I'm supposed to have my life figured out. I just graduated college. Like, what am I gonna do? Okay, my first job, I got a job, yay. But like, am I in love with it? All of these things, you're gonna have so many what am I doing moments, and I have had plenty of those that I do not put on camera. And the next thing that I learned is that your body is a temple and that you need to take care of it. And this one might sound a little cheesy, but something that I really focused on this past year is my health, and that goes for physical health, mental health, everything like that. Like, I want to take care of it. This is the one body I have. This is my one God-given body, and I do not want to ruin it. So by that I mean I try to make healthier choices. I try to take my vitamins. I try to, you know, put in more natural things in my body instead of processed and like heavily chemicals and stuff like that. Even on my skin, I try to really use more like natural ingredients and working out more and doing that more so for the sake of me feeling better and just, again, taking care of my body. Number 5 is that I no longer care what people think about me, and this has kind of been a years in progress. And of course, sometimes I do care what people think about me, but I think I have become a very confident person, and I feel like being a confident person sometimes has like a negative, I don't know, like it's kind of negative because it's like, oh, you're full of yourself, which there's such a difference between being full of yourself and being confident. I don't think I'm better than anyone else. I don't think that I'm any more special than other people, but I realize that I am enough, and what I'm doing shouldn't affect anyone else, and if they care, then that shows more on them. Trust myself in making good decisions. I'm confident in myself that I know like that what I'm doing in a sense, so that those are like the ways that I'm confident in myself. And I've learned really not to care about what other people think about me, which has been a lot of years of work, but I'm finally at this point where I can really say like I do not care what other people think about me. I'm gonna do what's best for me, and if you don't like it, I don't even know why, because it's not even affecting you. Number 6 is to get out of your comfort zone. And this is meaning move to a new place, get a new job, do something that you've never done before. Don't stay in your hometown and live at your parents' house, unless of course for financial reasons. That's totally different. But I'm just saying, get out of your comfort zone. If you're not satisfied where you're living and you want to live somewhere else but you can't afford it, work as hard as you can so that you can afford it. I know it's probably not gonna happen within the year, but have that be a goal so that at least you're working towards something. So I don't know, I just feel like getting out of your comfort zone is so important. This past summer I moved to LA for about 2.5 months, which wasn't that long, but I moved by myself. I literally didn't know anyone, like actually no one. I knew people through YouTube, but I had never met them in person. I had never hung out with them in real life, so it wasn't like I was coming into it with a bunch of friends, but I did leave it with a lot of friends, and I definitely would have never had those relationships and those friendships and those connections if I hadn't gotten out of my comfort zone. I also would have still thought that living in LA would be a possibility for me, and I'm so glad that I live there, so that I realized that like I don't really like it. So things like that, like it's just, you need to get out of your comfort zone. You're gonna learn so much, and being this young, kind of being out of college and not really being married or having kids yet is the perfect age, because I didn't really have any responsibilities and I was able to kind of do whatever I wanted. Number 7 is to just do it, and this kind of goes with the other one, but stop making excuses. If you want to do something, do it. I feel like so many people ask me questions like, how do I start this? How do I do that? How do I do this? Can you tell me how you did this? And I'm just like, I just did it. I found whatever resources I needed and I put it in action. I don't know. It's scary, but you have to take that leap. If you want to start something, no one's gonna do it for you. If you want to build a successful company, you're not going to build it by asking someone who's built a successful company step by step with how they did it and then copying what they did. Sometimes I get questions on YouTube that's like, hey, how do you like put your AdSense on your YouTube, or how do you distribute a podcast, for example? And those are genuine questions. I also had those questions when I was starting, but I feel like the easy way out is asking someone else. And like, I don't know, I feel like if you can't even like take it upon yourself to figure that out, I really do wonder if you will be able to start whatever you're trying to start. And that sounds harsh. I know that sounds harsh. I've been reading Gary Vee's book, so I feel like I've adopted some of his like harshness. But seriously, if you can't figure out, like if you want to start a podcast and you are having to ask me how to distribute it, you're not doing enough work on your own. Like, it's a quick Google search and you can figure it out. That's the lesson that I've learned. You just gotta do it and go for it. And yes, ask people questions, but don't ask them questions that you can't figure out on your own. Also, if you go into it with thinking of reasons why you can't do it, you're already starting off with a negative mindset and you're already kind of setting yourself up for failure. So go into it being confident in yourself and just doing it. Figure out whatever you have to figure out and go. Number 8 is to stop being so judgmental. I don't think of myself as like a judgmental person, but I'd be lying if I said that there were times when I really did judge other people. And after 23 years of living, I have realized that so many people are going through so much stuff that you have no idea about. Why are you just adding to that, like adding to their problems, honestly, and adding to their issues and judging them? Everyone is going through stuff. When people judge me, I get so frustrated, and I would never want other people to kind of have that feeling. Like, I feel like people judge me a lot on like what I do as a job. and I don't know, like they'll look at my social media and just automatically assume one thing, but it's like, okay, I don't care that that's your judgment, whatever, but get to know me a little bit first, you know? So I don't know, I just feel like you should never ever judge people. Number 9 is sometimes people that you love will let you down, and you just kind of have to deal with it. Honestly, I don't have any like positive spin on it. It's just, you have to know that people will let you down, and you're gonna let someone down one day, and people are gonna let you down, and that's just part of life. Number 10 is to let yourself take a break. This I have learned kind of the hard way, or not the hard way, but I'm still in the process of learning this, is to taking a break. I feel very guilty when I'm not doing something that further progresses my life. Like, I feel guilty if I'm laying in bed watching Netflix. Like, I shouldn't have to feel guilty about that, you know, if I've done everything I've had to do, but I'm like, but I could be doing more. I don't know if that's just my personality, but don't feel guilty about that, because it's not like, we need days off, we need self-care. It kind of goes back to like treating yourself right. So that's just something that I'm all in the process of learning, and I hope that whoever's watching this learns that too. Number 11 is to trust people, and I feel like this isn't just like trust people blindly, but life is a lot easier and a lot nicer when you're a little more trusting and you see the good in people. And I know people are gonna let you down, like I said, but it's pretty exhausting always doubting other people and never asking for any help, and I don't know. So trusting people has been something that I've gotten better at. I used to have really, really bad trust issues, and now I've kind of finally let go of those, and trusting people is so much better than having trust issues, you guys, and it is just, it's a lot more freeing. Number 12 is not to hold grudges. Forgive other people. It's so exhausting being angry, and honestly, you should forgive other people for you, not because they necessarily deserve your forgiveness, but because you want to let that go. And honestly, sometimes people do deserve your forgiveness. People make mistakes sometimes, but more so for your sake, let whatever they did go and don't hold grudges. Number 13 is to stop talking badly about other people. Kind of goes back into judging people, but I have started to notice that when other people I'm around start gossiping or start talking bad about someone else, it makes me uncomfortable. Whereas in the past, it used to not make me uncomfortable. I kind of would chime in sometimes, you know, and that's just, I look back at that past self and I'm like, that's so messed up. As long as we learn from it, I'm very pro change, you know, like you should be able to change and you should be able to make mistakes and in the future realize that that was a mistake and apologize for it. I'm not about like call out culture. I hate that. So yeah, stop talking badly about other people. It honestly just shows way more on you and it's not a good look, so stop doing it. Number 14 is not to be on your phone as much. I honestly am not on my phone that much. Like, even though social media and being on my phone is my job, I feel like I'm really, really good at when I'm in the moment with other people, not being on my phone. Number 15 is that being alone and independent is not something to feel guilty about. I am a very, very, very independent person, and sometimes I feel guilty because I'm like, shouldn't I be caring about like, oh, I want to be with, like, I don't want to move across the country because I want to be able to see you more often. I'm so sorry about all the noise in the background. It's just, oh my gosh, it's driving me insane. Anyways, I just sometimes used to feel guilty about being independent because I was like, I don't need anyone else. But honestly, it is a great trait to have because I love being around people once I kind of have my me time. Number 16 is to work harder than anyone else in everything that you do. So if you want to be successful at your job, you need to go in and you need to give it 100%. At your office, at your freelancing work, whatever it is, work as hard as you can because other people will see that and it will just open doors. And honestly, you don't want to be that lazy person. So if you want to be successful, work as hard as you can. Number 17 is that you should not feel that guilty about canceling plans. It's not that bad. First, I try to say no to plans that I know I'm not going to want to go to, which has been a work in progress. So learning to say no kind of goes hand in hand with this lesson. So many times people are like, oh my gosh, we should hang out. Oh my gosh, we should go to Florida together. We should go to New York together. And I'm just like, yeah, we totally should. And then I'm like, I really don't want to. Why did I say yes to that? So I've kind of learned on saying no along the way. And also, if you make plans with someone and you get a lot of anxiety and you don't want to go to them, just cancel them. But try to say no ahead of time so that you're not super flaky, you know, because no one likes flaky people. Oh my god, this noise in the background is driving me nuts. Should I just like make my thumbnail right now? Maybe. Number 18 is to be honest with people and don't be afraid to share your emotions. I love being vulnerable. It's scary, but honestly, in the end, it's so much more rewarding because I am not here for playing games. I like being honest and open. It's just a lot more freeing, and honestly, you will feel so much more peace being honest. Number 19 is I don't like spending money on clothes anymore. I am also lucky because YouTube is my job and I do get a lot of stuff for free, which is really nice. But even if I didn't, I like thrifting a lot. It's a good way to buy clothes. There's stuff like Poshmark, there's stuff like Depop, there's stuff like ThredUp where you can buy affordable clothes, and then you can spend your rest of your money either for savings or on experiences. I am all for spending money on plane tickets. Number 20 is that the second that you don't want to be with someone, you need to leave because that feeling's not going to go away and it's just going to linger. So if you want to end a relationship for no reason, like they didn't do anything wrong, they're perfect, but you want to end it and you don't feel right about it, don't listen to anyone else and just end it, because it's gonna linger on, and that feeling, you might be able to cover it up, but it's gonna come back out and it's just gonna be so much harder in the end to end things. Yeah, if you don't want to be with someone anymore, do them and yourself a favor and end things with them. Number 21 is trust yourself. Plain and simple, just start trusting yourself. Number 22 is try to be a little less stubborn. I am one stubborn girl, so I have been trying to be a little less stubborn. Number 23 is to know your worth. Seriously, I mean, this is one thing that I have learned a lot. Like, it is just so important to know your worth, and other people might try to tear you down, and other people might try to tell me or tell you that you are not good enough. But you know what? Insecure people and miserable people project that onto you, and they want you to feel as insecure and miserable as them, because they're like, if I'm this way, why aren't you this way? They don't understand your happiness, and they don't understand why you're confident, because they're not. So don't let other people bring you down, and know your worth, and don't think, oh well, like I am confident, but now this person's telling me that I'm like not good enough, so are they right or am I right? Trust yourself, know your worth. That is something that I have like really learned along the way. This video is a long video. I'm so sorry if there was noise in the background. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys learned any of these lessons or any lessons along the way that you want to add, comment them down below. I would love to have a little discussion about this. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.